Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross. And having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days.
If you notice, Exodus 28 through 11 explains the proper method of calculating the Sabbath, 6 literal working days, and then the 7th day of the Sabbath of the Lord was to be kept. Now notice the passage from Colossians 2:14 through 16. As you can see, when speaking of Sabbath days, it mentions meat and drink offerings, as well as new moons associated with the annual Sabbath days from Leviticus 23, the very chapter the lunar preachers draw their erroneous doctrine from. This is the most simple way to show there are 2 types of Sabbaths in Scripture. One is weekly, as pertaining to Commandment number 4 in Exodus 28 through 11, and then one is annual, that the lunar preachers use from Leviticus 23. But here's the key. Both Colossians 2 and Leviticus 23 agree point by point on what to do on annual feast day Sabbaths. They both speak of meat and drink offerings as well as new moons. However, if you notice when looking at commandment number 4 in Exodus 28 to 11, nowhere do we see what Leviticus and Colossians speak of. It's that easy to see if you look closely. Nowhere in commandment number 4 do we see meat and drink offerings or new moons being mentioned at all when it comes to how we keep the 7th day Sabbath. This proves the annual Sabbaths in both Leviticus and Colossians are not the same as the one mentioned in Exodus 20. Once again exposing the lunar Sabbaths.